A very good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha Television. My name is Aishwarya Kapoor and here are the latest headlines. Single-phase polling in Goa and Punjab on 4th of February. 7th-phase voting in Uttar Pradesh counting on 11th of March. Opposition parties to meet Election Commission today over advancing the budget session. Patch up in Samajwadi Party looks distant. Congress sent feelers of pre-poll alliance. Sheila Dikshit says will opt out to see a young chief minister in UP. Trinamool Congress protests in various states against a CBI arrest of its MPs, alleges political vendetta by BJP. Centre seeks report from West Bengal after violence. MS Dhoni steps down as limited over captain of Indian team, who will be available for selection for matches against England beginning this month. And India win fourth consecutive SAF Women's Championship title, beat Bangladesh 3-1 in the final in Siliguri. Well, the Election Commission has announced dates for the assembly polls in 5 states, while Goa, Punjab and Uttarakhand will have polls in 1 phase. Manipur will have a 2-phase poll and Uttar Pradesh will have 7 phases. Here are all the details.
16 crore voters in 5 states are all set to exercise their franchise to elect new state governments in Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Goa and Manipur. The Election Commission announced the schedule for the assembly elections on Wednesday. Accordingly, Uttar Pradesh will go to polls in 7 phases on February 11th, 15th, 19th, 23rd, 27th and March 4th and 8th. Punjab and Goa will have elections on February 4th. Uttarakhand on February 15th. Manipur in 2 phases on the 4th and 8th of March. Counting for all states will be held on March 11th. CEC Naseem Zaidi said while the model code of conduct will come into effect immediately, candidates have been asked to make all expenses and receive donations about 20,000 rupees through checks.
Our media monitoring committee at district level will monitor whether these TV channels owned by political parties or candidates are carrying out publicity of their candidates, and such expenses will be included in the expenses of candidates.
In an attempt to make the voting process more voter-friendly, the use of VVPAT machines will be increased and the picture of the candidate will also appear on the EVM machine.
VVPAT machines will be used in increasing number in certain identified Legislative Assembly constituencies. Commission has decided that Goa state will be saturated with VVPAT. Ballot paper on electronic voting machines will have the photo of candidates. This is a new feature for these states.
The Chief Election Commissioner also said the internal feud in the ruling Samajwadi Party in Uttar Pradesh is under consideration. The Commission has also received a petition seeking to restrict the central government from presenting the budget on the 1st of February.
पिछले 2-3 दिन में हमारे पास प्रत्यावेदन आए हैं दोनों समूहों की तरफ से, एक श्री मुलायम सिंह जी की ओर से और दूसरा श्री राम गोपाल यादव एवं श्री अखिलेश यादव जी की ओर से. कल शाम श्री राम गोपाल यादव की ओर से एक डॉक्यूमेंट्स का पूरा डिटेल हमारे कमीशन में प्रस्तुत किया गया है. कमीशन सिंबल ऑर्डर के अंतर्गत पुराने प्रेसिडेंट्स को ध्यान में रख करके और निर्धारित प्रक्रिया जो हमेशा से फॉलो की गई कमीशन में, उसके तहत जो डॉक्यूमेंट्स हमारे सामने पेश किए गए हैं उसका परीक्षण करेंगे, एग्जामिन करेंगे और उस पर उचित निर्णय उचित समय पर लेंगे.
Each family will get a voter guide with details of the voting procedure. 1,85,000 polling stations will be set up for the 690 assembly constituencies in 5 states. Vishal Dahiya's report for Rajya Sabha Television.
And after the announcement of the poll dates by the Election Commission, now various political parties have reacted. Let's take a listen.
मुझे पूरी आशा है कि ये इलेक्शन शांतिपूर्ण तरीके से हो जाएंगे सभी पांचों राज्यों में और कोई भी गड़बड़ न हो। और जाहिर है हम इच्छा करेंगे कि पांचों राज्यों में कांग्रेस की सरकार बनेंगे।
तहसील से लेकर के जिले तक के अफसर, उसमें से बड़ी संख्या में सपा के पदाधिकारी की तरह काम कर रहे हैं। तत्काल उनको हटा करके और निष्पक्ष चुनाव के लिए 100% बूथों में केंद्रीय बलों की तैनाती की मांग करता हूं।
प्रदेश में चुनाव होना चाहिए। केंद्र सरकार जो प्रयास कर रही थी कि चुनाव टल के अप्रैल मई में हो जाए, हम लोगों ने उसका विरोध किया था, क्योंकि फरवरी का महीना सबसे अच्छा चुनाव का महीना होता है।
हमें भी इस चुनाव के लिए बेताबी से इंतजार था। 5 वर्ष से उत्तर प्रदेश की जनता समाजवादी पार्टी के शासन में परेशान थी, कराह रही थी, गुंडा राज था।
तो इसका इंतजार कर रहे थे। ये हमारे लिए तो बहुत ही एक्साइटमेंट वाली और खुशी वाली खबर है, क्योंकि हम तो पहले से तैयार बैठे हैं और हम तो सोच रहे थे जल्दी से जल्दी हो जाएं, क्योंकि हमारी तो अब तैयारी है पूरी तरह से। दूसरी पार्टियां तो अभी अपने झगड़ों में उलझी हुई हैं।
रिक्वेस्ट की थी इलेक्शन कमीशन को कि लॉ एंड ऑर्डर कारण और इन गुंडागर्दी 57 तो इनके पास गुंडाओं की टीमें हैं जिनके पास बंदूकें हैं, फिर वो शिफ्ट कर देंगे एक जोन से दूसरी जोन तक कि इलेक्शन कमीशन एक जोन में एक टाइम में कराएगा। ये अच्छी बात है।
लोग बड़ी बेसब्री से चुनावों की घोषणा के इंतजार कर रहे थे। दोनों पंजाब और गोवा में, पंजाब के अंदर इतनी बुरी हालत हो गई है लोगों की कि बहुत बेसब्री से लोग अकाली बीजेपी गठबंधन की सरकार को उखाड़ के फेंकना चाहते हैं।
Meanwhile, in related news, now the Election Commission has said that it will examine a representation made by the opposition parties objecting to the presentation of the Union budget on 1st of February. Now, 16 parties have written to the Election Commission and the President opposing the government's move, with saying that it will influence voters ahead of the assembly polls to 5 states. Now, they quoted precedents saying that the UPA government in 2012 presented the budget in March 2012 after the elections. Well, opposition parties including the TMC, SP, BSP, JDU, RJD will meet the Election Commission today over the issue. The BJP, however, has said that the interim budgets are always presented irrespective of the election dates.
चुनाव आयोग ने शेड्यूल दिया है, उत्तर प्रदेश का, पंजाब का, उत्तराखंड का सीधा प्रभाव पड़ेगा चुनाव पर। इसीलिए हमने राष्ट्रपति जी से भी आग्रह किया है, तमाम विपक्षी दलों ने और चुनाव आयोग से, कि इसको रोका जाए। चुनाव के बाद ही बजट आना चाहिए।
These state elections have national implications. The union budget will have impact on the elections in these states. So one has to be realistic, practical.
केंद्र ने जो बजट सेशन चुनाव के बीच में बुलाया है, तो जैसे 2012 में बजट सेशन टाला गया था, इसको भी टालना चाहिए। नहीं तो केंद्र सरकार घोषणाएं जो करेगी उससे जनता प्रभावित होगी और चुनाव निष्पक्ष नहीं होगा।
The Commission has received one representation, as you might have read in the public domain, sent by some political parties, and this representation is with regard to presentation of the budget. The Commission is examining this representation, and in due course of time will take an appropriate call on this.
लोकसभा चुनाव से तुरंत पहले इंटरिम बजट पेश किया जाता है, आज तक तो रुका नहीं है। 2014 के चुनाव से भी कुछ दिन पहले इंटरिम बजट पेश हुआ नहीं हुआ, हर चुनाव से पहले होता है, वो तो एक संवैधानिक आवश्यकता है।
And with the poll dates announced for the state elections, now political parties have begun speculating the possibility of alliances. Well, on Wednesday, the Congress hinted at a pre-poll alliance with the Samajwadi Party as a party's chief ministerial candidate, Sheila Dikshit, offered to step aside in favor of a young Akhilesh Yadav. Well, other party leaders also said that while Congress will contest on all the seats, it is ready to join forces with like-minded parties. While talks of a possible alliance with the Congress had hit a roadblock earlier, with SP Supremo Mulayam Singh Yadav ruling out such a possibility, with the Akhilesh faction now breaking away from the original Samajwadi Party, the possibility of an alliance with the Congress could be a possibility.
सबसे बड़ा सवाल अगर अलायंस है तो अभी कुछ नहीं, क्योंकि जो चर्चा में आप सुन रहे हैं तो वहां अभी आपस में ही तय नहीं हो पाया है कि क्या निर्णय उनके बीच में हो रहा है। और जैसे हमारे पीसीसी के प्रेसिडेंट ने कहा कि हम नहीं चाहते कि जब परिवार के अंदर या पार्टी के अंदर अभी थोड़ा मतभेद हो तो हम इसका फायदा नहीं उठाना चाहते हैं।
Well, more news from the SP camp, and the Election Commission will soon take a decision on Samajwadi Party's election symbol, the cycle, as there are no signs of any truce really between Akhilesh Yadav and his father Mulayam Singh Yadav. Elections for 403 seats in Uttar Pradesh, remember, are scheduled to take place next month.
On the day when the poll bugle was sounded off by the Election Commission, last-ditch efforts to broker peace between the ruling Samajwadi Party factions in Uttar Pradesh failed. On Wednesday, senior party leader Azam Khan met Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav and Mulayam Singh Yadav separately, but the meetings yielded no results.
नेताजी की बात किस बात पे फंसी है कि आप समझौता नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, या ये स्थिति आ गई कि चुनाव आयोग फैसला करेगा और आप लोगों में सहमति नहीं बन पा रही, किन बातों को लेकर? आपने काम
राजनीति में, और मैं समझता हूं जब फैसले लेने की बात हो, आने वाला समय कैसे अच्छा हो, समाजवादियों का भविष्य कैसे अच्छा हो, मैं समझता हूं वो समाजवादी लोगों से ज्यादा बेहतर कोई नहीं जानता है। इसलिए आपका सवाल का जवाब इसी में है कि समाजवादी सिद्धांत, समाजवादी कार्यक्रम, समाजवादी फैसले जो आम जनता, गरीब, किसान, मजदूर के लिए हुए हैं, वो कैसे आगे बढ़ें।
नेताजी तो हमारे नेता हैं, सुप्रीम नेता हैं। हम तो ये जो लोग नेताजी के आसपास पार्टी को नष्ट करना चाहते हैं, उससे निकालने के लिए सब मुझे करना पड़ रहा है।
नेताजी, मुख्यमंत्री जी सब बैठ के तय कर लेंगे, नेताजी मुख्यमंत्री जी बैठ के तय कर लेंगे, इसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, मसला सब हल हो चुका है।
आप किसकी तरफ?
हमने पहले भी कहा था, अब भी कह रहे हैं कि हमारे नेता मुलायम सिंह यादव जी हैं, लेकिन दिल में हमारे एज ए मुख्यमंत्री अखिलेश जी हैं।
Meanwhile, as both Samajwadi factions stake claim to the party's cycle symbol, the Election Commission has said it will soon take a decision on the dispute.
कमीशन सिंबल ऑर्डर के अंतर्गत पुराने प्रेसिडेंट्स को ध्यान में रख करके और निर्धारित प्रक्रिया जो हमेशा से फॉलो की गई कमीशन में, उसके तहत जो डॉक्यूमेंट्स हमारे सामने पेश किए गए हैं उसका परीक्षण करेंगे, एग्जामिन करेंगे और उस पर उचित निर्णय उचित समय पर लेंगे।
साइकिल समाजवादी पार्टी को मिलना चाहिए, अखिलेश के नेतृत्व में वही असली पार्टी है, सारे लोग साथ हैं उसके।
Experts say as an interim measure, the EC may freeze the cycle symbol and ask the two factions to contest on new symbols. It may also give the two sides new names to contest the polls till the time a final decision is taken on the real ownership of the Samajwadi Party. However, analysts say that Akhilesh Yadav may have an upper edge over his father in the upcoming polls.
ये महत्वाकांक्षाओं की लड़ाई है, एक पिता और पुत्र की लड़ाई है और कहीं ना कहीं विचारधाराओं की भी लड़ाई है। अखिलेश यादव चाहते हैं कि जिस तरह की उन्होंने अपनी छवि बनाई है, वो जो बात लगातार कहते आए हैं कि मैं डेवलपमेंट के मुद्दे पे एक बात लड़ना चाहता हूँ, उस छवि में कहीं भी मुख्तार अंसारी और अतीक अहमद जैसे माफिया शामिल नहीं होते। तो ये लड़ाई फिलहाल थमती ही नज़र नहीं आ रही है। मुझे लगता है ये जंग अभी और बढ़ेगी और कहीं ना कहीं अखिलेश यादव को शायद अकेले ही मैदान में जाना पड़ेगा।
In a late-night decision on Wednesday, Akhilesh Yadav reinstated several district presidents removed by Shivpal Yadav, directing them to ensure strengthening of the party and ensure victory of party candidates. With inputs from Kriti Mishra, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now talking about another big story, the Trinamool Congress staged protests in Kolkata, Bhubaneswar and Delhi in protest against the arrest of its MPs by the CBI in the Rose Valley chit fund scam. Well, the centre has sought a report from the West Bengal government over the incidents of vandalism in the state targeting the BJP. Well, the Trinamool has accused the centre of vendetta politics as a special court sent its Lok Sabha MP Sudeep Bandyopadhyay to 6 days of CBI remand.
Trinamool MPs marched towards the Prime Minister's residence on Wednesday, accusing the BJP of vindictive politics after its Lok Sabha MP Sudeep Bandyopadhyay was arrested by the CBI in the Rose Valley chit fund case. 34 of the 46 party MPs participated in the protest. They were detained for about 3 hours by the police.
This is Modi Hatao, Desh Bachao. This is not only financial emergency. When Parliament was on, we were saying it was financial emergency. Now we are saying this is against emergency, this is against political vendetta, this is against arresting people. They have doing this thing because we are opposed to Note Bandi.
The West Bengal Finance Minister also boycotted the GST Council meet in Delhi.
That I have walked out of the meeting after making my presentation in protest in the appropriate manner that democracy deserves.
Not only Delhi, workers carrying TMC flags held protests in Kolkata and Bhubaneswar. They attacked BJP offices, hurled bombs and set them on fire. TMC leaders also demonstrated in front of CBI offices in the two cities. The centre has sought a report on the incidents of arson and vandalism from West Bengal. The Home Ministry is monitoring the situation.
तृणमूल कांग्रेस के लोगों को भी मैं कहना चाहूँगा कि संयम से सब काम लेना चाहिए। कानून व्यवस्था ये अत्यंत आवश्यकता है और पॉलिटिक्स को आप इस तरह से स्ट्रीट में नहीं ले जाना चाहिए। और आप डेमोक्रेटिक तरीके से कुछ भी कर सकते हैं, लेकिन वो अटैक करना और वहाँ पे लोगों को टारगेट करना, तोड़फोड़ करना, ये अच्छी बात नहीं है। ये तो वेस्ट बंगाल का पश्चिम जो बंगाल का सरकार है उनको सोचना चाहिए कि वहाँ का कानून व्यवस्था को बनाए रखने के लिए जो भी कदम उठाना है वो उठाना चाहिए।
A BJP delegation met West Bengal Governor K.N. Tripathi and petitioned him for imposition of president's rule in the state. The party has accused Mamata Banerjee of protecting the corrupt.
दुर्भाग्य से ममता बनर्जी भ्रष्टाचारियों की चैंपियन हो गई हैं, उनकी वकील बन रही हैं और संविधान को भी तार-तार कर रही हैं। ये देश कानून से चलता है। ममता बनर्जी आपकी दादागिरी से देश नहीं चलता है। तो हम विनम्र प्रार्थना करना चाहते हैं ममता बनर्जी को कि अनर्गल आरोप लगाना बंद करिए, कानून का सहयोग करिए। जिसने भी भ्रष्टाचार किया है, जिसने भी गरीब को लूटने का काम किया है, उनके खिलाफ सख्त एजेंसियां कार्रवाई करेंगी।
Senior TMC leaders will be flying to Bhubaneswar on Sunday to show solidarity with the arrested party MP. Bandhopadhyay was remanded to 6 days CBI custody by a special court there. The investigating agency had sought a 12-day remand. The CBI also got a fresh 3-day remand of arrested MP Tapas Pal in connection with the scam. With inputs from Nav Vikram, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
On to some other news now. Well, the deadlock over the goods and services tax continues with the centre and the states refusing to budge from their respective position on the issues like control of taxpayers and taxing high seas trade. Now, this is a stalemate that really threatens to delay the rollout till September. But the 2-day meeting of the GST Council, the 8th in a row, made a little headway in brokering a solution, even as the non-BJP ruled states saw September as the more likely deadline for the rollout of the indirect tax regime. The next meeting of the Council will now be held on 16th of January, where the issue of jurisdiction over assessees would also be discussed. Now, Kerala Finance Minister Thomas Isaac said that other remaining issues before the GST Council include ways to fund the compensation to the states for GST rollout and states' participation in the integrated GST.
We'll be meeting again on the 16th of this month and have a sitting to really conclude the discussion on those specific points. The drafts have been now, the legal drafts with the gaps, the gap means the undecided issue, are now being sent for legal vetting, after which they'll be circulated in the GST Council for a formal approval. Now, obviously, when I refer to the gaps, it refers predominantly to 2 or 3 issues, or issues falling under 2 big heads. And if I may just illustratively explain to you, the first retains to the definition of the word territory, and the second deals with both cross-empowerment and dual control.
And in Breakfast News, time for a very short break. We'll be back with more news. Do stay tuned.
Ghatam, one of the oldest and most unique percussion instruments of southern India. You can play it not only with your fingers, but palms, wrists and heels as well. You'd be surprised, but the air inside the Ghatam reverberates, creating the musical notes. 5 elements of nature: earth, water, air, fire and space make up the composition of this beautiful musical piece, which has found an apt place in most of the ancient books.
Welcome back. Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Bihar today to participate in the 350th birth anniversary celebrations of Guru Gobind Singh at Patna Sahib, the birthplace of the 10th Sikh Guru. The Prime Minister will take part in various programs at Gandhi Maidan, where a makeshift Gurudwara has been set up and a holy Guru Granth Sahib has been installed in view of the celebrations. He will also release special commemorative stamps on the occasion. Besides, Bihar Governor Ramnath Kovind, Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar and several other dignitaries will also participate. Meanwhile, hundreds of Sikh devotees from across the country and abroad are in Patna for the celebrations and are enthusiastically performing voluntary service. Tight security is also in place for the safety of devotees.
गांधी मैदान पटना में जहां पे श्री गुरु गोबिंद सिंह साहिब जी का प्रकाश उत्सव 350वां प्रकाश उत्सव बहुत ही धूमधाम से मनाया जा रहा है। यहाँ पे बहुत ही भारी तादाद में श्रद्धालु यहाँ मौजूद हैं। ना कि सिर्फ पंजाब या भारत से ही नहीं, बाहर से भी लोग यहाँ पर आए हैं और कुल मिला के उनको अकोमोडेट करने के लिए 3 मेगा टेंट सिटीज का यहाँ पे।
Well, apart from those celebrations, what else is making news through the day? Let's take a look in the day ahead. A meeting of the high-level committee headed by Home Minister Rajnath Singh will take place today to take a call on the quantum of drought relief to be released to Karnataka for the 2016 Kharif crop losses. Karnataka government had sought a central relief of 4,702 crore rupees for the loss of 2016 Kharif crops because of a severe drought in the state, but a central technical committee has recommended release of only 1,782 crore rupees from the National Disaster Response Fund. The CPIM Politburo meeting will take place in Thiruvananthapuram from today. The party will discuss the national political scenario and the assembly elections due in various states, including Uttar Pradesh. The Central Committee too would be in a session on 6th, 7th and 8th of January. But it is significant that the Central Committee is being held in Kerala 7 months after the party-led LDF headed by Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan assumed office. Pakistani authorities will release 219 Indian fishermen today as a goodwill gesture. The Indian fishermen were arrested for allegedly entering Pakistan's territorial waters illegally and fishing. Now, the freed fishermen are expected to be handed over to the Indian authorities at the Wagah border. Earlier on 25th of December also, the Pakistani authorities had released 220 Indian fishermen. All right, and now let's get you some international news. Well, Turkey has established the identity of the gunman who killed 39 people in an Istanbul nightclub on the New Year's Eve. Well, in an interview, the Turkish foreign minister disclosed this but gave no more details. Well, the development comes as a manhunt for the chief suspect continues, and the Turkish police have already detained 20 people in connection with the assault. Well, remember, the attacker shot his way into the exclusive Arena nightclub on Sunday. Then he opened fire with an automatic rifle. Now, Turks as well as visitors from India, several Arab nations and Canada were among the dead. Islamic State has claimed responsibility for the attack, saying it was a revenge for the Turkish military involvement in Syria. On to sports now, and India's one-day international and T20 international captain Mahendra Singh Dhoni has stepped down. Well, however, he will be available for selection for the one-day and T20 series against England. Now, teams for the ODIs and T20 series will be announced on Friday. Now, Dhoni, remember, was the first put in charge of India's T20 team, which won the inaugural World T20 in South Africa in 2007. He soon became their one-day captain, and in 2011, he sealed India's 50-over World Cup victory with a 6 at Mumbai's Wankhede Stadium to etch his name permanently in the country's cricketing folklore. Dhoni had earlier stepped down as the captain of India's Test team. He relinquishes captaincy in all formats of the game after having played 60 Tests, 199 ODIs and 72 T20 matches. The Indian cricket fraternity welcomed Dhoni's decision and appreciated his role.
डिसीजन लिया है जिसको हमें उनकी तारीफ करनी चाहिए और धोनी ने बहुत कुछ अचीव किया है। उन्होंने 2011 में वर्ल्ड कप जीता, 2007 में उन्होंने 2020 वर्ल्ड कप जीता, उसके बाद चैंपियन ट्रॉफी जीती और टेस्ट क्रिकेट में भी वो नंबर 1 रहे। उनका जो ये सफर रहा है बहुत ही बेहतरीन सफर रहा है।
एक चीज देख के अच्छा लग रहा है कि उन्होंने अपने आप को आगे नहीं रखा, टीम को आगे रखा है और उस हिसाब से वो निर्णय लिया है उन्होंने कि शायद ये सही वक्त है, एक सीरीज शुरू होने वाला है और ये बहुत अहमियत है इस सीरीज की क्योंकि आगे चल के चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी है जहां पे डिफेंडिंग चैंपियन है भारत।
बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी है जो एक महेंद्र सिंह धोनी ने दी है विराट कोहली को, क्योंकि एक इतने सफल कप्तान रहे हैं और उनसे बहुत कुछ सीखा है विराट कोहली ने और मैं कहूँगा बहुत खुशकिस्मत रहे हैं, बहुत लकी रहे हैं कि वो इतने समय तक वाइस कैप्टन रहे हैं उनके अंडर और उनसे बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला है। और अभी भी जब महेंद्र सिंह धोनी टीम में खेलेंगे तो बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिलेगा विराट कोहली को।
And good news for India from the football field as the Indian women have won their 4th consecutive SAF championship title. Well, the team struck gold, beating Bangladesh 3-1 in the final of the 4th edition of the championship at the Kanchenjunga Stadium in Siliguri on Wednesday. Well, the Indian Eves in the process are now unbeaten in 19 matches, having won 18 and drawn 1. Now, India took the lead when Dangmei Grace scored in the 13th minute, but Bangladesh, which had earlier held the Indian team to a goalless draw in the group stages, found a way back into the match through Sirat Jahan's 38th minute equaliser. India then played too well after the break to find 2 more goals, a penalty scored by Sasmita Malik and one from K. Indumati, and completed the victory in style. And some tennis news. Joseph Kowalik has knocked out world number 6 and tournament favourite Marin Cilic in a gripping pre-quarter final at the Chennai Open on Wednesday. Well, world number 6 Marin Cilic was heavily tipped to win the hard-court tournament, but he was below his best against the 117th ranked Slovakian Kowalik. Now, he defeated Cilic 6-7, 7-5, 5-7. Now, Kowalik will now face Daniel Medvedev in the quarter-final. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Indian men's doubles pair of Rohan Bopanna and Jeevan Neduncekzia won their first round clash, beating Brazilian-Croatian pair of Marcelo Demoliner and Nikola Mektic 6-4, 6-4. Now, Bopanna and Jeevan will play against the American-Australian pairing of James Caratena and Philip Oswald in the quarterfinals. That's all in this edition of news. Thanks for watching. Have a great day ahead.